And this is going to be a fun early Zoom room show because I get to talk with two wonderful women that are going to really help us understand what Soul Search is all about. And of course, this whole weekend is about Soul Search. And so, my wonderful co host tonight and collaborator, and she who makes all things Soul Search work, here's Tanjila. And most of you have seen her already. She's quite wonderful. Welcome, Tanjila.
Hi, Scott. How are you? Hi, everyone. So great to be here again with all you guys. Thanks so much for coming to join us for the Soul Search weekend.
Yeah. And please do let us know. Always, even if you do it every week, it's great to know where you're all from. Karen from North Carolina. Um, John from Norfolk is always one of our regulars. Jeff from New York. Um, Todd from Sacramento. It's great to see that. And I love what Jeff just wrote, Tangela. It's a beautiful, almost like a way to start our show. He writes, "We are guided daily by divine intelligence into paths of peace, wherein the soul recognizes its source and meets it in joyful union, in complete at one-ment, which is fundamental to our evolution." So thank you, Jeffrey. That's like a beautiful affirmation to start our show.
That's very beautiful. Thanks, Jeffrey, for helping us open with this guided daily divine intelligence.
Do you want to introduce Nicole?
Sure. So I'm happy to be here with my dear friend and co-creator, Nicole Keating. She has been tirelessly working with me on Soul Search and with Soul Search on helping us to, really build this platform and grow this platform in all kinds of ways. And Nicole is really an incredible heart-centered healer. And she's very connected, to the divine and to the angels. And she really works with this incredible divine connection that she holds and carries to help and support people in building and growing their spiritual businesses. And she's wonderful in really tapping in and tuning in with the etheric realms and helping us to kind of move out of the 3D and into deep connection with who we are, so that we can then manifest and bring our dynamic visions out into the world in a really fun, creative, sustainable way. So thanks, Nicole, for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Tanjila. That was a really beautiful, warm introduction. I just feel so seen by you, sister. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Nicole, I mean, that is a beautiful introduction. So, for our people who are with us in the Zoom room, because this is our family, this is the family in the Zoom room.
Hi, family.
What are some steps for people that haven't cultivated the gifts that you've cultivated? What are some steps or things you can offer as first ways to move into the direction of connecting to our etheric or multidimensional self?
That's a great question, Scott. One of the things I would say is that our angels and guides are always with us, but they do need us to actually ask them to come and join us. And so I would say, if there's anyone in any specific guide or angel, for me specifically, I really resonate with Metatron. And one day I was at this retreat and he literally came in and told me, I have been working with you this whole time. And this actually wasn't that long ago. And now I call upon Metatron, I invoke him, I ask him to be with me. So it could be Mother Mary, it could be the Christ consciousness energy, it could be your ancestors that you feel connected to, it could even be anything can be embodied. The elementals. I love working with the elementals. Do I need more fire? I'm an air. I'm a triple air sign, so I naturally connect to the air. But just calling in more water, more surrender, so you can call in the elementals or Mama Gaia to work with you. So just really tuning into what you resonate with. Is there something that's always come through to you? Calling that energy in and asking it to work with you and to show you, and then sitting back and listening would be my advice.
Hmm. So tell us a little bit about that step, about the listening part.
Yes. Um, the listening part is we're in such a busy, wild world where everything wants a piece of us. Our phones are dinging and ringing. Our emails are, you know, doing their thing. Everything is wanting our attention, and our energy. And so it's really important to find sacred space. For me, I call it like flexible structure. So my mornings are really sacred to me. I love to be flexible throughout my day, and I love to build space into my day so that I can take care of all the little things that pop up. But the morning, that sacred time in the morning is my time. And that's the time when I get quiet with my journal, or I have a medicine wheel in my neighborhood in Sedona, go figure, that I walk to with my journal. And so I just really bubble wrap that sacred time so that I can be quiet and put my feet on the earth and listen. And so that's what I would recommend, is just creating space that's just for you. It's not selfish, it's self-care.
Beautiful. Tangila, I know you have a practice or practices that you do. What are some of the ways that you drop into the other realms?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think what Nicole has just been talking about is so important. And it's really kind of what we're actually doing here at Soul Search, is really bringing to people opportunities to connect with their multidimensional selves, whether it's their higher selves, their angels. I mean, the reality is all of us are supported in so many ways, but so much of us are disconnected from that, because of the society that we live in. And so for me, it is an important practice every day to really drop in. I do meditate, probably for at least an hour every morning, as soon as I wake up. And that is really the way that I start my day, to really connect with my higher self, my super conscious, going into the quantum and seeing, what is to unfold and what is to evolve for me and for what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. Just really giving it over to guidance. And I think for me, that has been the biggest lesson, is how do we continuously give ourselves over to guidance so that our higher self can be guiding us and letting what is supposed to come through. And then for me, it's just a moment to moment practice every moment. How can I bring love to this moment? How can I bring the most love, and how can I be the most love in every moment? Because that is the true practice of moving into oneness beyond any type of separation. And that's really my work and my mission. And I see all of us coming together here, through Soul Search and Soul Search in community. Everyone here is so committed to this global awakening that we are now in, and really coming together beyond any and all separations. And so for me, it's just how do I do that in every moment and every day?
Hmm. I'm going to ask you a question. And by the way, she doesn't know I'm going to ask this, and I hope you're comfortable with it, Tangila.
Sure.
But one of the things I respect about you is that you have gone 100% into playing your role in creating the new paradigm, but you don't come from a family background that supports that or believes that. And I think most or many of our audience members, have relatives or family members that they love and that they care about, who don't necessarily relate or resonate to a lot of what we talk about on the awakening world. Is there anything you can share about how you've managed that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think, and it's not just me, right? I think it's actually, the majority of this world. A lot of the topics that we're talking about, on the Global Awakening shows, on the Global Peace Tribe shows, and at Soul Search is actually far removed from like most people's day to day, in terms of being in touch with their multidimensional selves, connecting and communicating with their spirit guides and angels. What is the ascension, and what does it mean going into the fifth dimension, and what does that look like? And for me, it's definitely been a journey to to really kind of step into, yes, like this is really happening and this is what I'm here for. And like just letting go of, a lot of the cultural, religious, societal paradigms and programs that I was brought up in and that I've grown up in and that I continue to be a part of, through all of the structures. And so it's definitely been an evolution for me. And I think, for me, it's, with the support of so many of my dear friends, who are here, like Melissa, like Nicole, like our spiritual, friendship and our spiritual family that has like given me the support and the understanding to know that, what I'm experiencing is something that's a shared experience, amongst all of us, and it's something that is real, and it's something that, may be different from what I was brought up in, what I knew, what most of the people that I know believe in. But it's with my spiritual family, my spiritual friends, my spiritual community that really has helped me to come forward to step into this work really, really fully and step into soul search. And so that's why for me, soul search is so important, because I am a real example of how important it is to have spiritual community and spiritual friendship, so that you can start exploring this whole process and knowing that, hey, like, this is something real for me, and it's something that I actually have. This is an experience that I do have people that I can share this with, and that I do have people that I can turn to and grow with and get feedback from, and share my practices together and evolve. And it's so important, because so many people around the world, they may be having these experiences, but they don't have a place to turn to, and so that's what we're really creating here together, because consciousness is awakening, we are transforming, and people are ready, and people want to find spiritual friendship, people want to find spiritual community, people want to be able to share their experiences. And for me, that's been a big journey, and I think it's a big journey, it's a big part of everyone's journey.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, and that's, for my tribe that's here. Um, that's why I'm so excited about Soul Search and wanted to do a whole weekend. And actually, Tanjila and I are talking about, some really big collaborations down the line, because I didn't know 3 years ago I was going to be running something called the Global Peace Tribe. I didn't know I was going to be every weekend doing these shows. It totally grew spontaneously. And because there is, obviously, our planet is going through this incredible change. And it's a hard change in many ways. We will not go back to normal, because normal was not working. Normal was not sustainable. And so it is up to us to create the new paradigm. And that's very much the theme of this weekend, and the theme of what we're going to be doing with each other is creating the new paradigm.
Exactly. And Scott,
Nicole,
what you and Deborah created with the Global Peace Tribe and the Awakening World shows and Saturday Night Alive shows, I mean, this is so much a part of creating the new paradigm, because you guys actually birthed these shows during the pandemic, where people were separated, where people were alone, where they didn't have the opportunity to come together, attending events, spiritual events, community, like they normally would have been able to. And again, you guys were able to really create and build this virtual community for everyone. And that's really beautiful. And I just think, like, what we're doing at Soul Search is a continuation of that and an expansion, just as for us to keep growing and building and opening up our fold to more and more and more people from around the world.
yeah, beautiful. That's exactly it. And amazing things. We're going to create live events together. There's going to be Soul Search TV. We're going to take like the best segments from the past and put them on together. Um, by the way, if any of our presenters want to jump in and join us for this early Zoom room show, just raise your hand. Melissa, Lisa, Jai Lakshmi, Omashar, if any of you want to jump in. Wild Abbott Jerry. By the way, just as most people know by now, I'm just coming out of a COVID time. And I'm actually feeling much better, but I'm having some sort of an allergic reaction in the last couple of minutes. So hopefully it's calmed down, but I am going to need to get some water and do a little throat spray. So, Tanjila and Nicole, you're up. And if anybody who's our other presenters want to come on, let me know, and I'm going to add you to the to what's happening.
Melissa's got her hand raised.
Great. All right, Melissa, you are coming on. Here she is. And I'll let you. And here comes Lisa. Here comes the cavalry. Here come reinforcements. Tanjila, do you want to introduce Lisa and Melissa?
Sure, I'm happy to. So welcome to both Melissa and Lisa. So excited to have you guys both on the show. Melissa is the founder of the Spiritual Expansion Academy, and she is an incredible quantum Akashic Records teacher, healer, guide. She also works with and channels the Ascension Councils. She and also the author of the book, A Radical Approach to the Akashic Records, Master Your Life, Raise Your Vibration. So she's an incredible healer, incredible teacher. I've had the pleasure of working with her personally, very powerful work. And I've also had the pleasure of hosting events with her as well, which has been an amazing experience for us to do activations and meditations and work together. So thanks, Melissa, for joining us. Great to have you. And Lisa, thanks so much for being here as well. Lisa is also an incredible healer, guide, an amazing channel. She works with people around the world to support them as an intuitive medium. She's supporting the awakening of consciousness of humanity to plug into the source of which they were created and to awaken their fullest potential. And she channels the Light Council and brings guidance from them. So thank you both, powerful channels, mediums, intuitives, and guides, joining us both today with your powerful work.
Oh, fantastic. And Omashar, I've brought Omashar, our house musician and beloved, on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I spent over a decade in Hawaii, and I had an amazing spiritual community there, and it was such a balm to my heart. And I've come to Colorado, and I have no spiritual community here, and and I was wondering why I had this hollow in my heart. And what the Global Peace Tribe has done has extended a spiritual community to me that is beyond my dreams. Holy smoke! I now speak to people all through the world, and my little soliloquy here is basically I'm so grateful for spiritual community, and I look forward to these weekends so much. I just get so lifted. It takes me 2-3 hours to go to bed afterwards. I mean, because I'm in Colorado, I'm about an hour ahead of you guys. But anyway, that's my bit. I'm grateful for spiritual community. Thank you so much, Tanjila, for this amazing seed that you have sprouted. And I feel it. I feel it. You know, it's just tingling through my body. So all power to us. It's going to work. It is working, and it is successful and bright and brilliant and uplifting. There we are.
Yes, thanks so much, Omashar, for being here and sharing your music and your vibration and your frequency. And I think it's so beautiful, how much you contribute and have been contributing to all of the Global Peace Tribe shows and to the community. And I just want to really commend you and all of our artists and musicians, because I think it's so important that we really honor your work and, all of what you all are doing in this global awakening and this global ascension process, because so much of this is about vibration and frequency and sound, and the healing and transformational power of your sound and music is really, beyond any kind of human comprehension.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hey, I'm going to put the spotlight on Lisa and then on Melissa, because I do want to give them a chance to share whatever you'd like to share. We've got 8 minutes before we go live on Facebook. So, Lisa, what would you like to share?
Well, I'm sharing the light that's happening to come down through in this moment. How fun is that?
You look absolutely angelic. It's awesome.
I
I
mean,
love it.
you can't miss a moment. I just kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit on what Tanjila was speaking about, growing up in this kind of, I grew up in a very religious experience where at a very early age, my greatest gifts of sight and mediumship were shut down. It was not okay to have that access through the other worlds in my very religious family. And so I loved the question that you had asked, Scott, and what did it take? And I really came to this realization after, doing my work for decades, realizing that there's this element of me that had been hiding because it wasn't safe to really let everything that comes through me come through me. And very palpably, a few years ago, I had to make a decision that I'm going to say I didn't care what the ramifications of me being authentic were. And I say that with love in my heart, meaning that if my family was going to never speak to me again for being a channel of spirit's words, then I had to be willing to take that risk. Because the calling that comes through us, especially at this time, like there is no holding back. And when spirit wants to speak, we have to get all of that out of the way and be willing to risk it all to do the work that we're here to do. So I just wanted to bring that in as the light was shining down. It felt like an appropriate moment. So
Lisa, that's like such a beautiful message and so beautifully stated.
thank you.
Let's just all breathe that in for a moment, and I'm going to add you, Tangela, because here are two women who have had to really take huge risks. Tangela comes from a family where, her parents arranged a marriage for her, and she comes from a strict conservative Islamic family. I don't know where you come from, but it sounds like both of you really had to take huge risks. So as the spotlight's on you, thank you both. And thank you for modeling courage and following your truth.
Thanks so much, Lisa, for sharing that in such a beautiful and powerful way, because that is exactly the journey. And actually, it's still the journey I continue to go through. It's not something that is over. It's not something that I can say, oh, I am totally past that. It's something that I'm still working with and still dealing with. And I just say that to share that with everyone, that, this is a path that we can all share in that experience together, knowing that whatever family, religious, societal, political, backgrounds we are coming from, that has an effect on us. And, we can, as we move forward in who we truly are with courage, just to hear Lisa's story and the way that you said that and spoke that with such conviction, and belief in yourself, it really kind of just conveyed, like, to me, like, wow, like she has powerfully done this. And that's so inspirational and powerful for me.
And it's a choice each and every day. I have to rise up and say again, even in the beginning of our introduction, I was like, oh, Facebook Live, stream this. And I was like, but my dad's going to watch. And then what's going to happen? And it was like, so I have to choose again, right? And again and again and again, we choose.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Beautiful. I'm going to bring Melissa on so she can have a few minutes to say something. Hi, Melissa. And of course, we're going to hear from Lisa and Tangela throughout the main show. But you're on, the spotlight's on you, Melissa. You've got 3 minutes to share whatever you'd like to share.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I just wanted to share about community and what I've watched through the years with so many people who are starting on this path, or even if they've been on a long time, they feel disconnected. Even when they sometimes know spiritual people, they still feel this disconnect. And I just wanted to share it's normal and it's okay, because we're used to being connected. And then we come down to this experience, this 3D experience, and we're so disconnected. We feel so separate. And our heart longs for this pure connection, like this really deep, loving, kind connection that we're used to. And because that's not what most of us, that's not what our experience is, it hurts and you feel like separate. And that is why beautiful Tanjila, she did create this so that you all have a way to connect not just other people who are on the path, but also people who come before you, who can help you in your journey, on your journey. So yeah, I get it. I've been that way myself. I've felt very lonely and alone, even with a lot of people.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing that. Tanjila, anything you want? I've added you to this to the camera here.
Yeah, thanks for adding and thanks for sharing, Melissa. And I think that's such an important point. I mean, that feeling of aloneness and separation, it's something, that so many of us feel, even if we are in community with friends, and even if we're part of a spiritual community, sometimes it's just it's a part of our process. And again, like Melissa mentioned, like we go from oneness into separation, which is this experience, and now we go back into oneness, but that path may not always be a straight one or an easy one or one that we can easily understand. And so I think, again, like Melissa just sharing about the fact that it's that this feeling of being alone and not knowing who we're connected to or who to connect or how to connect is actually a very normal feeling, like in this path and in this process. And I think us really being open and honest about that then brings opportunities for us to like share and come closer together. Because when we have to pretend and think and act as if, oh no, I'm always connected, I'm safe, when we're really feeling something else inside, that then prevents us from opening up to a deeper part of ourselves. So again, like this is really just about opening in every way possible, and opening and sharing how we're truly feeling, and opening our vulnerabilities.
Mm. What a beautiful set of thoughts and a wonderful closing thought for our early show. Thank you, Tanjila. Um, well, it's time for us to get ready for the main show, which always takes about a minute. A reminder to people to just check your internet. For both Melissa and Tangela, your internet is in the yellow zone. So just whatever you can do to reduce close programs, be close to your router, anything like that. And listen, I'm also having challenges with internet. So it's one of those nights where may the internet gods smile upon us and we'll just cover for each other. All right.